like I have a mission. Last rep. 80% of things right. Good morning, boys. Welcome back to a brand new video. Today, I'll be showing you my unique way of training and why I think it's the best way of training for most people. So forget all the niches you follow, all bodybuilding, calisthenics, powerlifting, running. I want to propose to you a new training philosophy to make you rethink your mindset towards training for fitness and health. We're talking about a training philosophy you can follow for the rest of your life. So let's go on to our first workout of the day.
This morning, cause you didn't go to bed. You were watching the whites of your eyes turn red. The calendar on your wall is ticking the day.
Okay, so Lorenzo's tune of the day from this run. The music that I listened to in this run was I Found a Reason from Velvet Underground. So part of this channel is to also culturally educate my viewers. No, just kidding, bro. This sounds like so freaking shady. I don't like the idea of this superiority, but like I think nowadays a big part of what I like is music, and music has been reduced to like just a sound that people listen to get dopamine. Like people listen to music like they play video games, you know. Part of what I want to do with my channel is also show you guys some actual good music. So the song that just played a few seconds ago in the B-roll where I just came back from my run was I Found a Reason from the Velvet Underground. So go give that a listen. It's a classic with Lou Reed singing. He's like one of the best singer-songwriters in history. So check it out. It's a freaking amazing tune. I'm sure it's gonna take your shit music out of your head, take your fucking Drake or whatever out of your mind, and listen to some actual delicate music. Let's get it.
Never gone before.
5-egg ganger. If you're a 5-egg ganger just like me, comment down below, because the freaking 3-egg gangers, like come on bro, you're not eating enough protein. Be a 5-egg ganger. Comment down below if you're one of them. And a nice cup of coffee, and I'm also preparing some bread. So a big part of running a lot is also fueling up afterwards. As you saw, I ran practically fasted. I just took a bit of honey and some coffee before my run, and that's all I took before going out for my run. But when I come back, like if I want to maximize my muscle growth, I don't want to be fasted for too long, because then I'm missing an opportunity for muscle protein synthesis. So if I want to maximize that, I need to refuel, especially with some protein and with some electrolytes, things like sodium that I'm putting already in my egg, stuff like that. So it's very important if you run a lot to refuel a lot so that it doesn't impede that much your muscle growth. But oh man, this morning run was freaking amazing. Not gonna lie, today the streets of Brazil were a bit dull because it's a bit cloudy in the sky today. But either way, a morning run never disappoints, man. It was freaking amazing. I feel so good after a morning run. And going back to the topic of this video, since I'm talking about my philosophy on training, I don't see my runs a lot as like a physical activity, but I do my runs much more as a mental strengthening activity. And the reason I do that, and differently than I used to do in the past, is that I use my runs as a way to warm up before starting my day. I see my runs as a way to warm myself up for the entire day. Because after my runs, I feel so mentally sharp, I feel so energized, I have a natural high, and I just feel amazing after a run. But I wouldn't be running, for example, if I was training for a marathon, I would have to run 30-kilometer runs. Today I just ran 7.5 kilometers, and so it's very different than marathon training. It's very different than performance training. I wouldn't be running to the detriment of other areas of my life. My running right now is a lot more in a way to support my overall lifestyle. I know that if I get a morning run in the morning, I'm gonna have the entirety of my day is going to be more productive. So I don't see my morning runs as something that is going to be to the detriment of my work. What this has to do with my philosophy on training is that I don't run just for the sake of getting better at running. I run to the extent that I'm mentally sharp after running. I don't run to the detriment of other areas of my life. I run to support other areas of my life. And that's one of the main things in my philosophy on training, which is having a form of training that supports your overall lifestyle. I wouldn't be running if afterwards I was tired, fatigued, and that would impact my work. The only reason I run is to support my overall lifestyle, to support my mental health, to give me energy in the morning, and to make myself stronger physically and mentally. So another thing I've been doing is cranking out 100 push-ups every single day. It's something that I've been back doing because it's simply just so convenient. You're putting something in the microwave, you have 1.5 minutes, you crank out some push-ups. And doing 100 push-ups every day, even on days that I don't train, like rest days, it just keeps my blood flowing, gives me those like mental benefits. It's just so convenient to do push-ups. Anyone that says that they don't have time to work out, bro, you can always crank out 100 push-ups. You don't know how to do a push-up. But for most people, doing push-ups, doing 100 push-ups every day, it's not gonna be a hard thing. So there's no excuse for it. And I guarantee that it's actually good for your physique, man. Like when I was in Spain, I stayed like 2 weeks without going to the gym a single day. The only thing I did was 100 push-ups every single day. And I still maintained a good amount of strength and mass. I would say when I came back at the gym, I didn't lose any strength at all. I think I maintained my strength. So start doing 100 push-ups. I'm sure that you're gonna get a bunch of benefits. Also, it's a cool skill to have, like go at a party and crank out a bunch of push-ups. There you go, 100 push-ups while the toast is being done, like I told you guys. Okay, so in terms of like my gym workouts, the thing that changed, like I used to go to the gym like 6 days a week in the past, but now I literally like have decreased my volume at the gym a lot. So I used to go to the gym like 6 days a week, train a push-pull legs, and now I literally work out like 4 days a week. So that's a big mindset shift that I made, that like you don't need to be in the gym 6 days a week to make good progress. You actually need a lot less than that. And I'm literally just going 4 days a week in the gym. And a thing that I see a lot is like people, they go 6 days a week in the gym, but like they mindlessly go through their workouts. They don't have like a plan in place and they don't train with intent. So like every time I'm at the gym, I'm literally like, I have a plan and I follow through with the plan. I have a mission and I make a lot of more progress. Like if you just go to the gym, you don't track your workouts, you have no idea what you're lifting, like you're changing up the exercises all the time, you're not gonna make as consistent progress as if you were going to the gym, you had a plan in place, and every time you go to the gym, you make it count. So that's what I do right now. Like I go less to the gym, but every time I'm at the gym, I do my best and I make my workouts count. Even if I were not to like maximize my gains, like if I were to get to like 1% or 5, 10%, whatever it is, more gains, if like I went to the gym one day more. Like, I don't care about that. I care about doing 80% of things right, and that's what really counts in the long run. You're gonna be a lot more consistent, and I'm not chasing like trying to maximize every single aspect of my training. As long as it's working, I'm gonna keep doing it. So I don't care about maximizing training. I'm caring about doing 80 to 90% of things right, to like not do those extreme things just for like a little increment of benefit. I don't want to do like whatever it takes just to get a little bit more gains. I just want to literally do as much as I can, as long as it's not extreme for me, and make the most out of that volume of training, which is 4 days a week right now. Last rep. So the reason that I'm making this video, so my motivation for making this video is that in terms of building a good physique, there's a big problem in the current industry, in the current fitness industry, and that's that it's completely dominated by bodybuilding. And it's only natural, right? Because bodybuilding is what's most eye-catching. So like if you're going online to search up health and fitness, you're not gonna hear it from a doctor that is wearing a t-shirt. You're gonna hear it from a bodybuilder that is yelling shirtless. Now, okay, I'm just joking here, you know, I'm making a caricature. But the problem itself isn't bodybuilding. The problem is that people that are interested in fitness, people that start getting interested in fitness, they want to build a really nice aesthetic physique, they straight away come across bodybuilding when they go online. And the problem with that is that bodybuilding is a sport where the goal in itself is to build as much muscle as you possibly can, even if it's to the detriment of other areas of your life. So bodybuilders, they do anything and everything they can to build as much muscle as they possibly can. And so the problem with copying and living the same lifestyle as a bodybuilder is that you have a different goal as them. You don't want to build as much muscle as you possibly can. You just want to build a good amount of muscle. And so it's only natural that if you copy their lifestyle, it's total overkill and to the detriment of other areas of your life. And because you're in this bubble and you get influenced by bodybuilders a lot, you often don't think about the trade-offs that living this lifestyle has, such as the time investment, the effort you have to put in, the relationships that are going to be taking a toll, and so many other areas of your life. What we need to understand is if you don't want to be a bodybuilder, if you just want to build a really nice physique, even an above average physique, you have a lot more flexibility. And so what you get are people living this bodybuilding lifestyle where they could be actually doing a lot less and still be making really good results. You see kids spending hours in the gym, obsessing over every little details, going to the gym 7 days a week, missing out on parts of their lives, making friends, when they could actually be doing a lot less. They don't need to go through that sacrifice. And so the big problem with the fitness industry is that most people don't aim to become bodybuilders, but they still watch, train, eat, and live like bodybuilders. And that's because the fitness industry is dominated by bodybuilding. And so what's the solution for this? Well, we need to preach a more sustainable philosophy where people are still going to build an amazing physique, like an above average physique, without having to obsess in every little detail, just focusing on the basics that are going to give you the best results. And so here's where I come in with my fitness philosophy, something that I've been doing for the past couple months now, and it's my attempt of trying to live this more balanced way of bodybuilding, this more balanced way of fitness, where I still manage to have a really nice physique, like I still manage to make gains at the gym, but living a more balanced lifestyle, not trying to maximize and obsess in every little detail, but still make a lot of progress. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys my fitness philosophy and the principles on how to do that exactly. So the first and most important principle of my fitness philosophy is doing 80% of things right. So it's about focusing on the basic things that get you the most result. Not obsessing in every little detail, but putting effort into things that matter. And I guarantee to you, if you actually do 80% of things right, you'll get a much better physique than 90% of people. Most people that are in the fitness industry, they don't even do most things right. They don't even know what the basics are. So the base of the whole fitness philosophy is not obsessing on things that are potentially going to give you more gains. It's focusing on the things that have been tested and have been proven to be effective, and focusing on these basic things that give you the most result. But remember that simple doesn't mean easy, and we're going to get to that. And now the second principle of my fitness philosophy is not avoiding things that I like or that are good for me just because they affect my physique a little bit. So if people in the fitness industry were to look at my videos, they would be like, bro, what? That's so absurd. He's running in the morning? Like, that's horrible for your gains. You're missing out on gains, bro. But really? Like, we need to ask ourselves, really? Is running gonna interfere in my gains that much if all the rest I'm doing properly? So should I really stop running just because I would get an extra 5% muscle growth? Is that really worth it? Well, I don't think so, and you shouldn't too. So a big principle of my fitness philosophy is not avoiding these things that you like, such as running, that is going to interfere just a little bit on your gains, and not obsessing about that. Focusing on things that matter, the things like going to the gym and actually working out effectively. Not focusing on the fact that if I'm running or not, if I'm running 30 kilometers a week. And we shouldn't avoid things that are good for us just because they affect our gains a little bit. What now? Are we going to avoid cold baths as well? Because cold baths haven't been proven to affect your gains to 0.5%. There are so many things that are good for our health that we could be avoiding if we were trying to maximize our gains. But I don't think that's what we should be doing. I think we should be focusing on the things that actually matter, not obsessing on these little details. If running is going to give me 5% more gains, or if doing cold baths is going to give me 0.5% of my gains. So the third principle of my fitness philosophy is not doing anything and everything just for the sake of getting gains. One thing we have to do is to analyze the trade-offs. We always have to analyze the trade-offs. We don't just do something just because it gives us more gains. And we have to analyze if those practices are actually worth it for us. For example, let's talk about bulking. So bulking has been proven to build more muscle. However, we need to analyze, is it really worth it in like a brain function standpoint? What if I feel like a bag of shit if I eat like a shit ton of food every day? You need to analyze, is this actually worth it for me? Should I really be pushing down food instead of like steadily increasing my calories really slowly? Sure, you're not gonna build as much muscle, but it's definitely worth it in a brain standpoint. You're not gonna feel sluggish, you're not gonna feel tired during the day. But if you bulk, you're gonna feel sluggish, you're gonna feel tired. So we can't just copy what everyone is doing in the fitness industry. I think part of training is actually being intelligent and analyzing which practices are actually worth it. Should I start bringing foods with me when I'm going to a concert just to get oh bro, should I bring my dinner to the concert with me to maximize my daily protein intake? How important is that really? Like, just for an extra 0.5% of gains? It ties back into the point that I just said. It's focusing on 80% of things, not focusing on things that are not really important. Another example, going to the gym 7 days a week. Is that really necessary? Like, you could be going to the gym 4 days a week. Do you think you're not like at least maximizing like 90% of your results if you go to the gym 4 days a week? Or heck, even 3 days a week? Don't you think you're gonna be maximizing like at least 80% of the results you would get if you went to the gym 7 days a week? Come on, bro, we can't just do everything and anything for the gains. We have to analyze what things are actually worth it to us. It's trying to get out of the bubble. Like, don't just do things because everyone else in the fitness industry is doing them. Actually analyze what practices are actually worth it for you to be doing. And this ties in to the last principle of this fitness philosophy, which is training to support other areas of my life. not training to the detriment of other areas in my life. So we need to figure out if the amount of training that we're doing is taking over other things in our lives. Like I said, like if you're bulking really hard, if you're pushing food really hard, this is going to interfere in your work because you're not going to be as productive in a day. You're going to feel sluggish. So part of what I do with fitness right now, I try to never interfere in other areas of my life. Fitness doesn't take over my work. It doesn't take over my relationships. So part of that is also not overtraining like I used to do in the past. I trained to run 2 marathons at 19 years old, and I was very much clearly overtraining. Like some days I would run 30 kilometers at a time, and this would absolutely interfere with other areas of my life because I would feel tired. I would be laying down on the sofa the entire day. And right now I run like 3 days a week, like 10 kilometers at a time. And after running, I don't feel tired anymore. I feel actually energized because my body released hormones like dopamine. I feel euphoric after running. It actually helps me concentrate in my work. So the goal with training is not to go to the extent where it starts to affect other areas of my life, my work, my energy. So I keep the training lower than I used to be. Like I'm just running 3 days a week. I'm going to the gym 4 days a week, but I'm still getting like 80% of the results that I would have gotten if I was in the gym like 5 days a week or if I was running every single day. And I'm still able to progress because I'm just focusing. Every time I'm at the gym, I train with intent. And so I'm still able to progress. Granted, it's a bit slower of a rate of progression. However, it's much more sustainable. And at the same time, I have great mental health while progressing. I feel good when progressing. So I really feel that this is the most sustainable way of training. I'm gonna give a cringy name to this style of training. I'm just gonna call it optimization based training. But what it really is, it's just more of a long-term way of facing fitness and health. Okay, but now it's time for the disclaimer, and this is gonna sound really hypocritical from my end, because although I am training in this fashion right now, so I'm trying to optimize my overall lifestyle, feel energized during the day, have the most mental clarity, and at the same time make gains at the gym and with running, I don't think that's a style of training that I'll do forever. Because like I said, y'all know that I've run marathons in the past. I've done all types of extreme sports, and I still have plans for training for these all hard physical activities, because I feel like these are things that I gain a lot out of mentally, and I will from time to time train for like a very hard physical task like a marathon or something like that. But I think this style of training is something that I'll do for the majority of the time. But sometimes I'll branch off and do like a hard physical task like a marathon or something like that, just because of how much I gain mentally from doing that, from pushing past my limits. So like I said in the beginning of the video, I have no hate towards bodybuilders. I have no hate towards people that are trying to maximize themselves as much as they can within their sport, because I've done that as well, and I will continue to do so in some sports, some areas that I want to do. I just think that for the majority of people that want to get a good body, that want to build a nice physique, they don't have to go through the same things that like professional athletes go through. Like you don't have to go through the realms of trying to maximize everything. So I hope this doesn't sound hypocritical coming from someone from the other side of the fence. So someone that also wants to do extreme things. I'm telling you that I do these extreme things because I value them in different ways, but you don't have to go through them if your goal is not the same as mine. So that is it for the video. I hope this helped out some people with like branching out of this bubble that is bodybuilding, where you have to try and do everything the most optimized, best way possible to maximize your gains. No, you don't have to go through that way. You can actually do 80% of things right and make a lot of progress. So I hope this shifted a bit your mindset into a more sustainable way of training. where you don't avoid things that you like, where you don't make as many sacrifices as like pro bodybuilders do. If you found this video interesting, you can check out my channel. I post many routine videos, what I do for training, what my training looks like, what my mornings look like, what my overall productivity looks like. So if you're interested on that, you can check it out over here. Subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Remember, it's all about the journey. Let's freaking get it, boys.